Hi, I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and this gazelle or antelope is the new pattern in the Funny Faces Quilt Block of the Month Club. And when I say new, it is December 2023, and if you're already in the club, you should have already received a link to download this new pattern. If you're not in the club yet and you join anytime in the month of December in 2023, this is the pattern that you're going to get instant access to. If you're watching this video and you're seeing it and it's well past December 2023, just go to the shop at shinyhappyworld.com and you'll find the pattern there. Here's how to make him. All right, this is the video showing how to put together the antelope or the gazelle. A gazelle is just a kind of antelope without a light box. So I've got all of the pieces cut out, prepped, ready to go. And by that, I mean I've cut them all out on the solid lines and I've transferred all of the dotted lines to the fabric side of each piece. So those are all placement guides and you'll see how we're using those in just a minute. So we are going to start with piece number 1. That is the neck. And I'm going to place that right at the bottom edge of the block. So I'm doing this what I call snapshot style, which means it looks like we're taking a picture of this gazelle and we have zoomed in so that we're focused on the face. She has a body, but the body gets cropped off in the photo. And to give it that look, I put this piece, this cut off edge, right at the edge of the block. So when they're sewn together, that's going to be like the edge of your snapshot. If you want to do yours what I call emoji style, with the head just floating in the middle of the block, just leave the neck piece off. And then you can float it in the middle and it looks great. All right, so we're going to put the neck on first, and then we're going to start working our way up. So next up is going to be the face, the lower part of the face. And that placement guide that we transferred is now going to help us. Once we cover that up, we know we have enough overlap that this can be put in the wash. All right, next up, we are going to put the top of her head. Again, just kind of working our way up. And once we cover up this line, we've got good placement again. And now let's get her nose in there because that's kind of a disturbing look. When you place the nose, there's kind of, it's not really a point, it's curved at the bottom, but you want the lowest point of that curve to be lined up with that downstroke, and that makes it look really great. Now, the ears are a little bit fussy, but to me, the ears are one of the kind of distinctive features of this animal, and so I really wanted to get them a little more detailed than I sometimes do. So you're going to start with the lower ears, and you've got a bunch of ear pieces, and they all have numbers on them. And those numbers correspond, there's a placement guide in the pattern, so you'll know which is the outer part of the ear, the inner part, and then that folded over flap. So we're going to start with the outer part, and we're going to tuck that behind the head. There, that'll work. Again, we want to cover up that little line there. And it actually comes down, you can see on the placement guide that the bottom edge of the ear kind of comes behind that seam. So I've got it tucked down a little bit here. All right, next up is going to be piece number 5, which is the inside of the ear. They have a lot of animals have lighter fur on the inside of their ears, but the gazelles and antelopes usually have darker. You'll want to look if there's a particular kind of gazelle or antelope that you are trying to copy. You'd want to use its coloring. And then the top part is, this is piece number 7. This is the bit of the ear that folds over the top. And it can be a little darker. And you want to line that up so that it looks like a continuous fold. Right here, you want to make sure that you get that point lined up right at the edge of the lighter part of the ear there. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to tuck this behind the head try and get it matched up with the other one, and that looks good. And then we've got the inner ear, which is a little bit darker. Again, let's tuck that under there. And then we have the little fold over piece. So it looks pretty complicated, but it's really not hard to put together. The trick is just knowing where to line things up so that they look just right. All right, and now we're going to give it some horns, and their horns tend to curve in just a little bit. So again, you can look at the placement guide. So you probably could put them so that they point out, but I designed them based on lots of photos of antelopes and gazelles. And their horns can be different shapes. That's why I'm saying you can do this different, but I thought this looked like the most common kind of set for them is for them to curve in like that. And then it just needs a couple of eyes. And there's also, the pattern includes eyelashes, but this one is not going to have eyelashes, but I'll show you at the end one that does so you can see what that looks like. So this one has quite a few pieces, has 14 pieces all together. All right, everything looks good. I'm just going to double check that those points in particular are lined up where I want them and that the nose didn't shift while I was moving things around. All right, that is ready to go. I'm going to carefully lift it up, carry it over to my ironing board, fuse it all down into place, and then I'm going to do all of the outline stitching, and then I'll bring it back here and show you the finished one and also show you two other versions I made with different colors, including one where I did stitch those eyelashes in. All right, and here is a finished block. So again, this could be a gazelle, it could be an antelope. A gazelle is actually one kind of antelope. So all gazelles are antelopes, not all antelopes are gazelles. But you can play around with some of the coloration. Just Google different kinds of antelopes and gazelles if you wanted to make a very specific kind. So this one I did all in shades of brown with dark gray antlers, or horns, I guess they're horns on this. So all of these browns and the background and the horns actually are all from the Animal Kingdom Blenders collection. All of the browns are from the Grizzly collection, the Grizzly blenders, and this very, very dark gray is in the Elephant collection. But I made this in a couple more colors as well. So here's a fantasy version of a gazelle that I made using all yellows from the Farmer's Market collection. So these are all from the Corn Blenders collection. And the background block is from the classic rainbow quilt blocks. These are blocks that are printed with those quilting lines on it. So all you have to do is follow the lines to do your quilting. So this one not only is in fantasy colors, but I also did the eyelashes on this version. So this version has no eyelashes, and this one I stitched the eyelashes. That is always an option. And I did one more version. So here's another one in realistic colors. So again, all of these browns are from the Animal Kingdom, from the Grizzly Blenders collection. And this kind of soft seashell pink is from the Sea Breeze collection. So again, this is one of those blocks that has the quilting lines printed right on it. So that is 3 different versions, different color versions of the new gazelle or antelope pattern, the current pattern in the Funny Faces Quilt Block of the Month Club. I'm Wendy at Shiny Happy World, and I will see you next month.